Don't they have to be turned on? There you go.
Why was it off?
All right, sorry for the delay, technical difficulties. All right, we'll call the July 2025 Vigo County Parks and Recreation Board meeting to order. We'll start with roll call.
Abby Desborough.
Here.
Jeff Fisher. Eddie Adams.
Here.
Aaron Gadberry.
Here.
Joe Newton. Tabby Flynn. Kylie Smith. Here.
Call for any agenda additions or corrections.
I'd like to add a bullet point C under comments for park staff.
It is added. Approval of June, July claims.
Motion to approve claims as submitted.
All in favor? Opposed? Claims are approved. Approval of the June minutes and reports.
I move to approve the minutes as submitted.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Minutes are approved. Next up on the agenda is comments from the public. If anybody has anything to say.
Hello, my name is Melissa Rohrbach, and I'm here representing Jesse Callahan and Scott Rohrbach in regards to a proposed letter of intent for a project. If I could approach to give you your folders that we have to share. Jesse Callahan approached my husband, Scott Rohrbach, who is in chair behind me. And so the conversation is to propose a, quote, phase 2 for the grotto building that is beside the land that is now being used for the youth football programming for West Vigo Youth Football. So in that discussion, Jesse had shared with us that there is some opportunity with that building to, as I said, mentioned like a phase 2 in order to take the next step to include youth, all right, for the town of West Terre Haute. So in your packet, you'll see we have a letter of intent. Just in kind of summary of that letter of intent is that we are asking if we have your partnership between yourself and the West Vigo Youth Football and Team Green Wrestling, which is what my husband represents. For the last 30 years, he's had that programming. Jesse and Scott came together and felt that combining those together to create the name of West Terre Haute Sports Complex in order to have its own identity and its separate entity in order to try to get some funding if it will be approved. So with that said, we decided that honestly that we believe combining the leadership and putting a vision together would actually be able to combat that in vision. So if you will see there in the middle of that intent to letter of intent, really it states with us having a shared vision, having a market leadership, and honestly a scalability. So with the shared vision, we say that we would sustain the innovation for the opportunity. Second, with the market leadership, that we would serve Vigo County as both of us are already doing. And the third, the scalability, it would be a collective collaboration. And of course, we want to maximize the range of capabilities so that we can target and enhance the youth experience. If you will also see in your packet, there is a presentation, and it's just the slides. I wasn't sure if I could hook up to the TV, but this is printed so that you could see that in our introduction, you know, we've been presented, we have time and opportunity, we have a commitment, and we have a vision. And so with all of that, the full process would be having the supporters, the collaborative relationship, and coming together as members of West Terre Haute community so that we can provide, again, that youth opportunity to help them grow and piggyback off of what the youth football program has already started and is in their second year of doing. Then on that following page, we are the community. And so the West Terre Haute, we are a village. And you always hear that saying, it takes a village, and we're ready to be that village in order to get that incorporated for the town. And with athletics, you know, it takes commitment and it takes dedication. And so we actually have already committed to doing so. Me standing here, I just do that as a commitment to show that I can help them operationally to make sure that it's achieved. So that's my buy-in because, you know, that's where I am with the community. Over 25 years, you know, the project started at Providence Housing Corporation in the town of West Terre Haute. I started that project, and so here we are this many years later, 25 years from now, or from then. So I've created and overseen a project, and it can happen. So initiating this project truly can happen, and it can be successful 25 years down the road as well. So honestly, the vision and mission, if I could just read what we came up with verbatim, that way you are on the same page with us. The West Terre Haute Sports Complex is dedicated to provide influential, supportive leaders to develop respectable youth champions and future leaders by way of providing sports experiences that will enhance their talent and skill development to be successful and dedicated community members in the town of West Terre Haute and the riverfront community, because that is going to be the location, if approved, is part of that riverfront community that we would want to incorporate. The next page with our activities and annual events, you know, incorporating the sports complex would include football, wrestling, as I've already mentioned, but then also to break out a little bit more, and that would be tennis, track and field, cross country, cheer and gymnastics, golf, weightlifting, archery and fishing, esports, and then of course any additional sports that would come in the future. Being in that location, Wabashiki is right there, so it's a no-brainer to incorporate all those other activities for the youth, for them to be able to explore and experience them. Of course, all of the activities will also include, you know, annual, monthly events that would be, you know, include but not limited to, of course, you know, supporting the events, some performances, community events, fundraising activities, and of course, relationships with other organizations and companies. The following page there, coaches, this just gives you an example of what I just mentioned to see, again, using Jesse and Scott, football, wrestling, we would obviously have a representative for each. And then the following page, the sample board of directors, that would just give you an overview of what we are thinking. Our thoughts are around having each represented by a directorship, meaning that would take the burden off of just one person, example Jesse, example Scott, in order to come together to do it together, right? And so then that just will also take some ownership, and then everybody will be involved. It will not just be one person having to take that burden. Bylaws and incorporation, if this is approved, we obviously can, I've already started to draft that, you know, just thoughts around that. And so that's what I can share at this time, is that both of those can be created. And then, as we know, you know, you as a board, I don't have to sit here and explain what that dedication's like. So you obviously are aware of the community commitment, you know, the teachings, the trainings, all of those. We would make sure that our coaching staff and our board members would understand that, and that it is a commitment to do all of that, to bring it together to make it happen. So I just want to thank you for allowing us to be here to provide an explanation around the scenario of it being an opportunity. And I would love to answer any questions, and if I don't know that answer, Scott can come up and he can answer those as well. Or thoughts, for that matter.
So when we're talking the West Charlotte Sports Complex, I don't know if anybody can hear me on this thing. Are we talking, we have the agreement currently with the West Charlotte Little League football for the field there at Schley Place, right next to AMVETS. Are we talking that field area? Are we talking AMVETS? Are we talking,
Jesse.
what's the complex as we're talking about it?
Yes, sir. So Jesse had mentioned that using we call it the grotto, that using the AMVETS where they're located now to utilize that facility in order to make that be a possibility for us. Fair question. I should have dictated that at the beginning.
So I talked to Jesse a little bit a couple weeks ago, and we're still waiting on any approval or not approval to be able to use the building. Using it for storage probably wouldn't be any issue. Still waiting on permitting questions, whether or not we can actually use it for community space.
Okay, sure.
And then we've had conversation as a Parks Department, what do we do with that building we now own? Is it logistically possible to use, or are we going to tear it down? We're in the process right now of trying to remove some of that area from the floodway.
Sure.
A lot of that plays into what kind of structure we can have there, or what does that look like long term. So
Absolutely.
I guess that's kind of my takeaway on this right now.
I'd like to be more familiar with the building itself. Maybe we tour just to see what kind of condition it's in.
Yeah, we can set up tours and go through it as a board.
Get more familiar with it possibly before making any kind of decision.
Mhm.
Yeah. This is a lot of information, and I
Absolutely.
really appreciate the time and effort that you guys put into it.
Thank you.
And I have kids and are into the sports thing, and I mean, it develops future leaders. That's the way that you kind of, mentor and have coaches growing up. So I love the idea and concept, but like Adam said, we do have a lot of pieces, so it's a good timing that you brought it to us, because we do have some next steps on that AMVETS building. What is that area going to look like long term? So I think this gives us some definite food for thought and kind of see what the next steps are. We don't have an answer tonight,
No,
of course,
I
but just
wasn't
something to
expecting
kind
that
of-
at all.
Yeah.
But we did want to come to you to share that there are these possibilities that we can build upon what had already, been started with Jesse and, the again, I say phase one, just for reference, because, my husband will share with you, commitment of over 30 years and knowing that we can do something for the youth, hands down, we'll be there to do it. So we just wanted to make sure that you're aware that we definitely are ready to do so if that in fact were something that you could entertain. So I just want to thank you for the time that you've given us so that we could share.
Yeah, definitely. And does Adam have your contact information if we, moving forward, if, yep.
He has Jesse's, right? And I also included my husband Scott's on that back page so he can be contacted as well.
Perfect.
Okay,
Okay.
all
Yeah.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public?
Oh, come on, there's a microphone for you right there.
So I have to get up and talk about it, talk to you later. We'll talk
Okay.
later.
That's no fun.
All right, if no other comments from the public, comments from board members? Comments from staff?
Okay, I figured this was a good place to put some of this stuff instead of new business and such. So we've had some increasing issues with cabin rentals and some of our campgrounds, so we may have to kind of look at some park policy. Our cabin at Fowler Park was vandalized, for lack of a better term, last weekend. Left 2 old air conditioner stuff in the windows and a stove or something outside and beer cans all on the top, and That just seems to be a string of incidents that we're continually having. It was one of the first cards that we had to actually charge their deposit. So I'm sure we may get a dispute over that later, but we've been talking about some changes that we may need to make to some of our rental policies. I'm not real sure what that looks like. Just want to let you know that it's an issue right now between parks and who's actually on a campsite, who's actually in the cabin. Some people are getting dropped off and left in the parks, and some other issues like that. So we're trying to investigate what to do along those lines. More of a, so you know. I don't know if Tavy wants to talk about United Way Day of Service, because I wasn't there, but we had a good day of service.
Yeah, so on Friday we had about 50 volunteers at the Griffin Bike Park. And I don't know, Rich, do you want to talk about what they did there?
We went around the trails that we're going to have people on this weekend at Bike-a-Palooza, and surprisingly, we found 4 trees down we had to get rid of. They painted all our gates bright yellow, surprise Adam. And we went through and cleaned out what I call a sycamore grove that's in between the dual slalom. It's just a ton of sycamores, and it's beautiful now. It was hot, and we let them go a little bit early, but they did killer work for us. Had a couple of them we weren't sure we were going to get out of the woods, but we got them all safely out of the woods. No one got hurt, and got a ton of work done. I was really, really happy with what went on.
Yeah, and then I led a group at the Fowler Park, or the future Fowler Park disc golf course. So we had about 4 volunteers come out and worked really hard at clearing invasive plants out there, and just removing a lot of tall shrubs and logs out of the way to hopefully open sometime within the next year. So that's exciting. And then we had some volunteers at the Bicentennial Park who removed, I believe you said, a truckload of trash, right, Ryan? Yeah. So it was a really good day. We always appreciate the United Way volunteers. They always work really hard and bring good people out. So.
Thank you. Always like United Way Day service. So, some very good volunteers. Along the thought process of disc golf, hoping to wrap up Prairie Creek's course hopefully by the end of August if it ever quits raining and we get other things done. But would love to get that off our plate. Contacted the IDDC. Our grant is good until 26 now. We were trying to get it done by 25 was one of the selling points. With some of the issues we've had and some of the things, extra paperwork we got to do, they were good with, I believe it was August of 26. So that does give us a little breathing room on that course. Then lastly, on my comments at least, Tavia and I met with representative of the chamber, the bass fishing coach for North, South, and West Terre Haute. I've been in conversation with CVB. I think we're going to make this outdoor expo go. Tavia has been great at getting banquets together if we didn't burn her out on the last one, and I think she's going to be really good at getting this expo going. I think we have a niche here that we can fill with advertising Wabash Valley as an outdoor recreational hub, as Rich has been calling it at the Indy Show. We have a lot of different opportunities that we can present, draw people in, and trying to get them to come here, stay here, be here. So we're in the infancy of that, but we're looking at maybe April of next year. So we'll let you know more as it develops. So, and along the lines of the football field, it's great to see, I think, was it starting August? Practices and such, all the kids out there practicing, and I mean there's a lot of people invested in that field, that area, the restoration of that area. So excited to see what else could come there with a lot of work, I'm sure. That's all I have on my section. You guys got anything else on your section? No, your section's later.
All right. So moving on then to the capital improvement plan.
So first, I don't know if any of you've been across the river bridge and seen the old packing house basement, but revitalization of that area. We've had a lot of comments on it. It's a almost unbelievable change there. The rain stopped us, but by this week, if it quits, we should have it all dressed up and ready to plant grass. So it's a 100% change over there. A lot of people commented they appreciate it, so went well. Second, the Riley Lock. We're starting to begin on that property. I'm trying to get it done before the opening here. So first step is to get the bridge built, so it's finished. So if you go down through there, you'll see a brand new bridge just down the road from the parking lot there. And then last but not least, I mentioned in the last meeting a little bit about our revamping of the lift stations. We had that work done. They said it needs some revamping done on them. So we got the estimate for Fowler Park, and it's $40,000.
40? Okay. Didn't know if I needed that extra zero there.
Yep, that is 1, 2, 3. That's four lift stations being revamped. So
Those are the originals that are in there now, probably. Sure.
yeah.
So then is that something that's, when will that kind of go in the calendar of things?
So it is something we'll talk about in our new business budget
There we go.
line.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Jumping the gun. All right. Anything else on capital improvement plan then?
Yeah.
No. Yes.
So I wanted to give you an update on the building. We've got brick on the front, got windows in, we got most of the doors in. They're putting metal siding on, the roof is all done, and they're drywalling the inside. I told them I couldn't paint until after this weekend, and Mark Klinkenbeard's gonna help me paint, and we're gonna have a paint party out there. It's looking really good. I'm really starting to get excited. All our utilities are run. We just gotta get the electric hooked up, and our septic is gonna be looked at here second week of August. He's gonna come out and get things ready to go and go from there. So it's starting to look like a real building.
Nice. Congrats.
Thanks.
There's nothing else in capital improvement. We'll move on to old business.
I have none at this time.
Rolling right into new business.
Yeah, don't get too excited. We got several things in new business. Budget, number one, Brian talked about the 40,000 to redo the lift station. Wanted to make an increase to our 1179 ask to raise it to 178,000 total. Right now, that's already been put in as a placeholder through the budget committee. The other change to the submitted budget to the board, our group insurance, I got a to the dollar amount, instead of having to guess too much, is $318,267.17. Is our total group insurance among our full-time employees, which is a good amount more than what the placeholder was. So those are the two budget increases I wanted to put before you. Both are submitted right now to the budget committee, which we could pull off if we need, but seek a vote to approve those increases.
And remind me again, 1179, that's
Our non-reverting
Non-reverting.
funds, yeah. And right now, look, we've talked in the past about making sure that our salaries are taken care of, that we need to pay out 1179, perf, FICA, all that for at least the next year. We don't want to run up against something, heaven forbid another COVID should happen, we shut down all of our campgrounds. We want to be able to pay those at least for the next year. This ask still allows us to do that, plus start making more money next year towards the next budget.
okay. Anybody have any questions that, or will seek a motion to, I guess, increase these two line items in the budget?
Yep.
Okay. the, lift station comes out of non-reverting. The insurance, does that come out of your normal
1219, yeah.
operating salary, or operating budget?
How much more is it?
I don't have the original number with me, I just have the number now. I can tell you half close.
So that would be the total non-reverting, but that's not, yeah.
Should be about a little over 100,000 more. I think there's more insurance to pay than in previous years. It also scales significantly. An employee could be as low as 12,000 and some, but another employee could be as high as 38, 39,000 is what we're paying out for insurance. So it also varies wildly per what employee is on what plan. If you have a single employee with nobody else on a plan, it may be 12,000. If they have the family plan plus another one, it may be 38,000. So every year per every new employee we get it, and even during the year it could change.
So the same thing with the non-reverting fund, that just went up 40,000 to cover
Right.
the lift station?
Right.
Okay.
You know, meet from next week, is that correct?
I'm sorry?
Is that next week, we're meeting with the budget committee?
Yes. Yep. Monday, I believe. Yep, Monday at 10.
Any other questions on the budget? Revisions?
I make a motion to approve the two increases for lift stations and the group insurance.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Thank you
Okay.
very much. It'd be nice to get some things done, although it feels like we're backtracking a little on the septic part. But next on my list, AMVets, we'd sign an extension. We now own the building. We gave them an extra few weeks to remove their things. So they'll be, they were contacting moving companies and different people to try to get, they have their establishment, their new establishment, they just had to get anything removed out of the building that they wanted. So they got a few more weeks to actually get everything out of there, and then we're really into the ballgame of figuring out what we're gonna do in between. So that was more of an FYI, I guess. The next thing we need to vote on, I believe I sent it in an email, or I hope I did. The new Lock property for decades has been called the Riley property or the Riley Lock property. Been called a lot of different things for 30 years. Ran it by several different people, all thought it was a wonderful idea to name it Lock 47 as its official park name. We hope to have a grand opening in September. September 6th is what we're gunning for right now. But would like to present for a vote to officially name a new park.
So is it technically always, like, where's the 47 from? Is that what its
It's
number was on the?
Lock number 47.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
the maps.
It was kind of on the head.
Okay.
I've asked two historians, and they thought that was a great idea.
Jeff came up with one of those.
Yes. Which I had his wife in school, and I didn't remember it. So apparently she was my English teacher at Clay City.
He's the guru for the lock system, I think. Farmer from Center Point.
Well, I'd asked Brendan, asked Jeff, and asked Sam Liggett as well. All of them thought that was a wonderful idea. But if we don't think it's an idea, we can name it something else. So,
I'll make a motion, we accept and name the new lock, Riley Lock 47. That's the way it's been presented.
So Lock 47?
Lock 47.
Lock 47.
Lock 47.
Park.
Yep.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, you have a new park name.
All right, thank you. last on the list, and again, more of a FYI, we're gonna get us a new sawmill. We've had a donor that wanted to procure a sawmill for us to use. The only caveat is they only use it a week or two out of the year. I thought that sounded like a really good deal for a $43,000 sawmill. Especially at the Pioneer Village and different places where we got to replace hand-hewn beams and logs, and we were taking logs to Greencastle, building the cabin before to mill them down. He even threw in a wedge where we could figure out how to make our own hand-hewn shingles, or hand-split shingles. So unless anybody doesn't want to accept a free sawmill, we're going to go up and get that probably next month in Indianapolis, get trained on how to use it, and bring it back to the parks. So I think that was very nice of them. That's all I have.
Adam, do you have any liability concerns if we were to damage the sawmill? Are we responsible for full replacement at cost? That'd be my only
He's just
concern.
going to give it to us
Okay.
as our property.
That's great.
Yeah, and I'll have him sign a liability waiver of any kind for his week or two of use, and make sure we've got that covered. But
Perfect. That's awesome.
yeah, very excited to figure out how to use that.
Unless anybody has anything else, seek a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Alrighty.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Yes. Appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. Yes.
Did he slick his beard down for the camera? We'll take you, Nate, Joe. say.